Hello, I'm Esme Murphy, and welcome to Talking Points. Our conversation today is with one of the leaders of COPAL Minnesota, a statewide organization that has trained thousands of legal observers to monitor ICE activity, providing help for detainees and their families, and even providing the most basic necessities such as food delivery, pet care, and other aspects for those scared to leave their homes. Well, we have heard hints recently from even Governor Tim Walz that Operation Metro Surge will be ending or should be ending soon. The story on the ground in the neighborhoods across the state is that it's not over. It's my pleasure to welcome here Carolina Ortiz, the Associate Executive Director of COPAL Minnesota. Carolina, thank you so much.
Thank you, Esme, for having me.
All right, you have, how many organizations around the state are under you, including the Immigrant Justice Network?
So within the Immigrant Defense Network, which is a project of COPAL, we have 110 different groups, organizations that form that, and we treat it as a coalition. So that's anywhere from ACLU, which is providing legal, to clinics, to all of the people that have really come together and said, here are our talents and skills, we're part of this network.
Is it getting better? What is it like on the streets right now?
We have heard the national narrative of, Bovina left, there are less agents on the ground, things are getting better. That is not what we're seeing. So we continue to get on average about 400 calls through our helpline each day. And this is from people that said, hey, I need support with rent, to I need support with getting my medication, to hey, I just saw somebody get detained, what can I do? And it's been an ongoing need. We don't see that number going down. If anything, it has continued to really be similar day to day, and us responding to those calls.
I want to emphasize that your work really goes statewide, and we do have some video of a training session in Duluth that was at a church last month that was packed. How many people have you trained in sessions like this, in the past year or so? Yeah,
so that visit that you have for Duluth, we've been doing hundreds of trainings. In the Duluth, Minneapolis, there's been several where we have anywhere from 300 to 500 people show up for those trainings.
There's several hundred in this video.
There's several hundred. And in total within the network, there's been over 30,000 people trained. I will say not everybody is mobilizing and doing the Constitutional Observer.
That's your book?
That is the book that we do, yes, for the trainings.
Constitutional Observers, yep. Right there.
And this is what we use. So this is what we use for the training. You have everything from like who we are, to how you protect and make sure that everybody's safe, to how do you figure out warrants, and also obstruction. I know one of the big things has been that the trainings have told people to put themselves in danger and obstruct, and that's not what we're doing at all. And this is what we follow.
And these are the people who have gone, tens of thousands, up to 30,000 to 50,000, who are out on the streets when these incidents have been happening. People like Renee Good, people like Alex Preddy. Those are the people, really, the front lines. It must be encouraging to you from where you're sitting to see how many people have come out and said, I want to be a part of this resistance.
It is, and there's been hundreds of community members that even after what happened with Renee Good and that whole situation, I mean, we had an event the following day where we had over 350 people show up. So if anything, I know people were asking, well, aren't people afraid? Aren't people, taking a step back? No, for many people, it was their opportunity to say, no, we have to be out here. We have to be supporting our community.
All right. You have also done extensive work throughout the state, but especially in Mankato and Rochester. Why those two communities?
Yeah, so COPAL has offices in Mankato and Rochester, and we have members there who are organizing and mobilizing, and for at least for us, those two stops were essential because we know that the situations in rural Minnesota are different than here in the Twin Cities.
Is it worse or is it better? How is it different?
As far as resources, it's harder to get resources out there. And it's a combination. I wouldn't say worse or better, but I think it's an ongoing issue that we're seeing statewide.
All right, and again, it continues as we speak. You also have been able to raise a great deal of money, $1.5 million. I guess people have really been flooding you with donations. Where does that money go?
Yes, so we made a commitment that all individual donations coming through COPAL and the Immigrant Defense Network would be going back towards mutual aid. So that's providing support for communities who need support with rent, who need support with their basic needs. 1.5 sounds like a lot, but when you divide it into the number of people within our community that need the support, it's not a lot. And I will say it's not a lot because it won't fix the issues that they're dealing with. It will not fix the trauma that they're going through. But we know that for many, it will get them through the next few weeks. It will support them and hopefully give them a little bit of hope.
And some of those that you're talking about here are the people who are left behind after somebody in their family is detained. How many of those people are out there? So it's thousands?
There are.
And is it often the breadwinner that gets detained?
Unfortunately, yes. And we've seen that situation too many times. And again, that's why we acknowledge that the funding that we have will not fix everything because they're going through so much pain and also a lot of financial hardship.
Right. One of the narratives that we've tried to convey here at WCCO is just how scared people are, and you can even see it in sort of some of the smaller grocery stores and ethnic grocery stores. People are literally scared to go to the grocery store, and many of these people are not here illegally. They actually have like a visa or they've applied for asylum. Are those people still getting swept up? Those people who have made the effort to go through a legal pathway?
We have seen that, and we have multiple cases where people who have been stopped are citizens, are green card holders, have some sort of status, have a process that they're going through. And I think what we have seen throughout all of this is that it's really the violence and the dehumanization that happens when they're being detained that is causing the fear. I mean, we've seen, the situation within Whipple, and we've seen the inhumane conditions that they're having people in.
All right. And obviously you also provide some legal assistance or help answer questions. Obviously there's a huge problem right now in the federal courts with people's cases just not being heard. Can you elaborate on that?
We've talked to multiple lawyers, and they're saying, the 20, 40 years of experience that we have is going out the window because right now we have more questions than we have answers. And that really, I think, paints the picture of how things are right now. And we know that once things pass, we will need to continue moving forward with the cases, right? So we have people that are calling our helpline saying, I have videos, I have pictures. We're then connecting that to the lawyers who are helping with those cases. And we know that will be important.
All right. I also want to mention that one of the things that you do, which is at the most basic level, is help people with groceries, delivery, getting food. Explain that, because I think people may not realize how widespread that is going on.
Yes, and that is statewide. So we have partners within the Immigrant Defense Network who have been able to have the volunteers come in, take food to homes, and that's not something that has been stopped. Like, we continue to have that need on a daily basis.
What would you like people to know from where you sit?
I would love for people to understand that things are not getting better, that it's really what we have seen has been against many of us here in Minnesota, regardless of our status. It's really the dehumanization of people who are in Minnesota, who are here not to do anything against the law, but really to make Minnesota a great state. And I think that has to be clear.
I understand, and I've talked to people who are observers, and they feel that they have been targeted, followed by ICE, followed to their homes by ICE. You guys are out there, you're out front, you're visible. Has that happened to you?
Yes, we've been vocal. I mean, we've done several interviews, being here with you. The work, I was on the ground when Renee Good was killed. We've been very out there. We've been very vocal.
You're on the front lines.
We are. And I've had ICE agents show up to my home, looking through my mailbox, looking through the windows, looking through the cars. And I'm not the only one. I mean, we've seen countless videos of this happening to community members, but that is against the law to go through somebody's mailbox. It is,
Yes.
and you know, part of it is documenting it, reporting it, doing everything that we can. I will say when I saw the video of the agents showing up, it wasn't clear that they were ICE agents. They had ponchos, they were covered.
They had ponchos?
They had ponchos, yes. And part of that was just that I could see their arms, like I could see that they had weapons. So when you see...
But, let me ask you, ponchos, I mean, because Mexicans, why ponchos?
I don't know. I wish I could answer that.
That just seems like a cultural swipe of sorts, especially in the middle of winter.
Yep. So I don't know. But you know, I've had that happen to the point that, I mean, I called police and I said, I don't know who these men are. I can see that they have weapons. I don't know who they are. And we've had other staff be followed without, you know, trying to hide it. Like they were very visible, very out there. So we've had that, and it's unfortunate, but you know, it's what we're dealing with.
All right. Well, that's, you know, I interviewed a gentleman who had been detained in St. Cloud who was driving a van and was followed, and he said he couldn't tell who was following him, and he got scared, ran off. I mean, ICE claims differently, but if you can't tell who's there, that must be very scary.
It's terrifying. You don't know who it is, and they're not identifying themselves. So it's terrifying.
All right. Well, Carolina Ortiz, the organization is COPAL Minnesota, and I also know that you're planning on Valentine's Day rallies and support all over the state, including one at the Alex Preddy site at 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day.
11 o'clock on Saturday, we will be there. It's part of our initiative of Love Your Immigrant Neighbor, and we'll have music, food, and presentations from community members. So I encourage everybody who is able to join us.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that does it for this edition of Talking Points. As always, please email me with comments or suggestions at esme@cbs.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Esme Murphy, WCCO TV.